What's up, guys? Better late than never. I just got the OneUI 4.1 update on my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold. Now, this is the Z Fold 2, but these features are going to be the same as on the Fold 3. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you some of my favorite features on the Fold running OneUI 4.1. And I'm also going to point out some features that other devices got that the Fold, the most expensive device that Samsung puts out, somehow did not manage to get. Okay, so first and foremost, if you're running a Z Fold of some sort, it's probably safe now to be able to go to your software update and go ahead and install this OneUI 4.1 update. And this is quite a long changelog. We're not going to go over all of this stuff because a lot of it really isn't very important. We're just going to kind of pick and choose the ones that I think are the most interesting. Now, let's start off inside the camera app, because unfortunately there are some things that are missing from other devices in this camera app. So if we go to Pro mode, you're going to see that we do now have the ability to shoot with the wide and the ultra wide. So obviously the ultra wide is the ultra wide and the wide is your standard lens. Well, some devices now have the ability to use the telephoto in portrait mode. On the Z Fold devices, that is not a thing. On the Z Fold 3, you can go into your portrait video and you can actually film using the telephoto in portrait video. This is something that the Fold 2 apparently differs on and does not have. Now, if we jump over to the gallery, though, we actually have some really cool stuff here, like the ability to automatically remaster some images, sharpening blurry faces, fixing distortions, and so forth. I'm going to demo one of these things for you here that I thought was extremely impressive. So let's go to the gallery, and here's a photo that I took of my gaming PC, my editing rig that is here next to me. And as you can see, there's a great big giant reflection on the screen here. Now, if you go to Edit and you click these dots down here and go into Labs, you can see a couple of things they've added, like a shadow eraser and a reflection eraser. So making sure those are both turned on. Let's go into Object Eraser, and now we're going to go ahead and erase the reflections, and watch how well this works. This is absolutely mind-boggling to me. They are gone. Those reflections have been effectively almost completely removed. There's a little bit of something going on there that might be kind of lens flare off of my brightly colored RAM. But in general, what an incredible job that did of removing those reflections. Now, it also shows that we have the ability to change the portrait lighting on a portrait photo that we've already taken. So we can go back and kind of change those portrait effects around. All in all, they've added a lot of really good stuff to the gallery app. And a lot of these AI features, like removing objects, removing shadows, and now removing reflections, work really, really well. If we jump back to our home screen, we've got a little bit of a tweak here as well. So if we pinch to zoom out and we go into wallpaper and style, you're going to see that the color palette picker, this is the thing that basically looks at your wallpaper's color and then gives you a selection of colors to make the system UI sort of follow. As you can see up here, this UI has changed a little bit. Before it was a bunch of circles, now they are vertical lines which you can select, and then it will change the UI elements to match that. Now, something that other devices have gotten that for some reason the Folds have not gotten is a special widget, which should be here up at the very top, and it is called a smart widget. And the purpose of the smart widget is to allow you to have multiple widgets in one spot. So someone like me that is a big weather nerd, perhaps I could have one radar app there and I could swipe it and change to a forecast or something like that. There would be from potentially even another app behind that. For some reason, we have not gotten this on the Fold devices, even though some of the cheaper A-series phones have now received this feature. We're still waiting for it here on the Folds. A feature that has also been built out, though, which you can find in your settings, and then you're going to want to go into battery and device care, click on memory, and then you're looking for, as this loads here, RAM Plus down here at the bottom. You can see that now this is actually changeable, and I've set mine to 8 gigabytes. Basically, what we're talking about here is your RAM and your ability to extend your RAM into your actual storage space, so to speak. So RAM is your random access memory, and whenever you open up an app gets loaded into RAM to be used. RAM is extraordinarily fast, and that's how apps run quickly. Well, now, on these more recent Samsung devices, Android can actually treat a bit of your super fast storage as if it were slow RAM. Now, it's going to want to use your actual RAM first, but if you run out of RAM, you're doing a video editing or something like that that uses a ton of memory. Well, now I can overflow that memory into your storage because storage has become sufficiently fast that that's actually kind of doable now. Once you make your change here, it will require a reboot though. And if you heard about the sort of non-controversy, as far as I'm concerned, about the game optimizing service that was effectively sort of reducing the performance of third-party apps on Samsung devices to save battery, well, you can now fully bypass that. If you click on search here and type in game, you're just looking for game booster settings. You're then going to scroll down, and let me show you exactly what we're looking for here. Click on labs, and then toggle this box, alternate game performance management. Use an experimental game performance management system that may improve some game performances. And it doesn't really sound like what it's doing, but what it's doing is it's going to apparently allow third-party apps to bypass Samsung's performance management system. I actually do leave mine on battery saver because I don't really notice a difference, and I like to squeeze out as much battery as I can. But if you want to squeeze out as much performance as you can, put that on performance and then toggle that box under labs. Somewhat frustratingly, on some other devices like the S21 and the S22, we also now do have night mode with portrait mode enabled. That is not a thing we're going to have on the Fold devices. We also are missing a feature called extra bright, where you would go into your settings, turn off adaptive brightness, and then you have the ability to turn on that full peak brightness, just hit my microphone, of your display. That feature is also not a thing that we have on the Fold devices for whatever reason. And of course, based on that changelog, there are a ton more features here. As I said earlier, this is just sort of my favorites, right? The ones that I thought were the most impactful. Please share in the comments down below any that I might have missed that you thought I should have included. Thanks for joining me on this one, guys. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.